Doo-doo-dee. It's Nandi!
Hello friends, I'm trying my hand at something new today, and that is the character quest for Wrask, the World Eater's Terminator. It's content that I have not done before, so please let me know if this is reasonably useful and you'd like me to continue. I'll take you through everything by time-stamped level order, but thought I would show you at the outset the characters and rarities that I used to fully complete this event. I haven't used a character higher than Gold 1, even on the Legendary node, and I'll talk you through the ability levels and key decision points as we progress. As a quick aside, the channel is coming up on 9,000 subs. I've been allowed to give away 9,000 gold as well as 15 character shards of my choosing. On screen are the results of the poll held on the Eye of Terror Discord, and you can see the popular choices early on of Calgar and Exeter Row. Let me know who you'd like me to give away in the comments below, and I'll tally up the votes and give away the most popular character. For Common 1 we use Malladus and Harkin alongside our quest character. Malladus has a passive ability, Haze of Corruption, that allows him to do splash damage, and once we position him on the high ground, he is able to take out 2 enemies at once. Harkin finishes off a third Inceptor, again taking advantage of the extra 50% from a high ground hex, and Wrask finishes off the last Inceptor. In doing so, he applies a shield to himself and Malladus. It's trivial for our units to clean up on the following turn. For Common 2, we take the 2 Chaos Summoners in, Abraxas and Archimatos, along with Volk. The idea here is to flood the battlefield with summoned units as shown on screen. Remember that when you place Volk adjacent to Abraxas, he gains bonus psychic damage. Wrask then finishes off the last Inceptor. Enemy AI likes to prioritize killing our summons, so the next turn is fairly straightforward cleanup. Here our units are deployed in 2 areas. We need mobility to take advantage of the ridge in the middle of the map. Abraxas starts off summoning units to deal the majority of the damage to the northward Inceptors, and Volk uses his active ability to deal more area of effect damage. On the left side, Archimatos moves forward and summons some Bloodletters to kill a guardsman on the top ridge. Wrask then teleports to provide a shield to the Cornate summons, and Yazagor finishes off an Inceptor. Again here we take advantage of enemy AI targeting our summons for an easy cleanup on the next turn. For this node, the main characters are Volk and Wrask. You can really use anyone in that third slot, but as you'll see in this footage, Toth doesn't really contribute anything particularly unique. Volk moves to just under the high ground hex and uses his active ability, killing 2 guardsmen and wounding an Inceptor. Wrask finishes off the Inceptor, gaining a shield, and Toth finishes off the last guardsman. The 3 remaining snipers are unable to break through Rask's shield, and on the subsequent turn, Wrask uses his active ability to kill 2 enemies, allowing you to easily finish the fight. We use Volk's active at the start of battle to kill the hovering enemy snipers. Archimatos summons some Bloodletters on the side, while Harkin and Wrask move up the left flank. The summons distract the remaining heavy intercessors for long enough for our main units to finish the battle. Uncommon 3 was easily the hardest node for me in this quest, so pay close attention to turn order and positioning. We'll start off by putting Volk onto the high ground hex and using his active ability to weaken both of the left-sided Inceptors. Archimatos then moves next to him and finishes both of the Inceptors off. I've done this here through a lucky crit, but in my multiple attempts have also managed to do so without a crit, provided you roll well enough on Archie's attack damage or Volk's ability. We then position the rest of our forces in the backfield, out of reach of Varro, and add to the battlefield a pink horror. If you've positioned properly, Varro will come down and use his active on the left-sided Bloodletters. You cycle back through to your turn relatively unscathed. The pink horror and Rotbone kill 2 guardsmen, and it's important to use Wrask's active to kill the last guardsman, because if you attack with his basic attack, you'll create an impassable flame hex that will scupper your efforts. Archimatos summons some Bloodletters and Volk takes advantage of being adjacent to Abraxas for bonus damage. I get lucky with a few crits here, but they aren't necessary. The last 2 Inceptors are distracted by the summons, and we finish with plenty of turns to spare. Don't forget to use Rotbone to heal Volk before you finish the node. For Rare 1 we will again take advantage of our Chaos Summoners. Move Wrask first to tank the sniper shot and then summon away with Abraxas. Let the enemy AI attack your summons and you can finish the node on the next turn. For Rare 2, we get to enjoy a fun melee power-up that gives Wrask bonus hits. This also affects his active ability, and you can see here how we instantly kill all 5 surrounding Inceptors. Volk's active clears up the left side of the map, and Toth's active kills off the right. On turn 2, Wrask moves in and kills the next unit, with his surrounding Chaos allies also gaining a shield. I get lucky to crit the final sniper, but it's not necessary as we have a full turn to spare and all of our units are fully shielded. For Rare 3, Toth moves up the centre and tanks a couple of sniper overwatch shots. Turn order is important as you want to deploy Wrask from Deep Strike the turn after Angrax, so that they both benefit from a shield. You'll need a few levels into Angrax's active, but not a huge amount, remembering that these units are capped at Silver 1. This lets you double kill the surrounding enemies on your turn 2. Wrask then finishes off the northwest Inceptor and gives your forces a shield. On the following turn, Toth heals up to full health through his passive ability, and you can finish the node. Rare 4 is another instance of the summoned units taking over. We spend turn 1 retreating to draw the enemies forward, and Wrask provides a nice shield over your team. On turn 2, Abraxas summons and Yazagor swaps places with Archimatos to give him an advanced position to summon more Bloodletters. Summons let you easily finish the node off. Here, Abraxas takes up a forward position and creates an army of summons. Beware of the lost health from the Overwatch attack. You'll need to heal this up before the end of the battle. Archimatos attacks to add more Bloodletters. On turn 2, we heal Abraxas and use our summoners and summons to finish off the battle. For Epic 1, we have one turn to fully clear everything. Wrask starts the movement off, tanking an attack from the enemy sniper before killing one guardsman. Yazagor kills the other as he swaps positions with Abraxas. Abraxas then moves up to the top right of the map and finishes the remaining enemies off. For Epic 2, we move our Thousand Suns units towards the bottom of the map. Yazagor helps Abraxas get into position and unleash an army of summons. Wrask then tanks an Overwatch shot from the sniper to let Archimatos add summons to the north of the battlefield. A couple of crits see us through the battle 2 turns earlier than needed, but the concept is maintained. Let your summons keep the enemy distracted and your main characters healthy. For the last epic quest, Wrask moves up the left flank to eat a bunch of Overwatch shots. This lets Abraxas move in on the right and unleash a load of summons. Next we use Yazagor to gain more ground and move Abraxas closer to the enemies. Archimatos adds psychic damage to the table through his basic attack, and this continues the Abraxas summoning chain on screen. Remember to heal up Abraxas on turn 2 and you can breeze to an easy perfect clear. The final legendary node is achieved with Gold 1 characters, abilities capped at level 35. Obviously Wrask being the showcase character is maxed out with buffed stats. As we've seen often, Wrask tanks a couple of Overwatch shots before Abraxas adds summons to the battlefield. Volk follows closely behind with damage and suppression through his active ability. I use Yazagor's active here, but actually it ends up being pretty unnecessary. Rotbone begins turn 2 by doing an area of effect heal and reducing Calgar's armor through his Nurgle faction trait. After you kill Calgar, the rest of the battle is pretty straightforward. Just remember to check on the health of your units before you finish the fight, in case anyone needs a further heal. That's all we've got for today, folks. If you found that useful, please let me know in the comments below so I know to keep doing this. A quick shout out to Nbar for the new introduction animation, and as always, if you're a newer player who hasn't yet used their referral code, I'd love if you could consider entering mine as shown on screen. It gives you 100 Blackstone and supports me in the work that I do. It is single use though, so choose who you support carefully. Bye for now.
Doo-doo-dee. It's Nandi.